I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys how to go about the basics of taking a tire off, putting a tire on, and we may even get into balancing. Welcome back to the vlog, fam. Today we've got some unusual content for you, but definitely something every car guy should know. While the RX-7's out, I've been doing a lot of miscellaneous work around the shop. That includes a lot of cleanup and things for the RX-7. Today it means I get to work on our Subaru that we're giving away in just a matter of days. So if you aren't already a VIP member and aren't signed up to potentially win this beautiful Subaru WRX behind me, what are you waiting for? Go join VIP for your chance to win it. It is pretty dope. I would love to drive it every day if I could. So maybe one of you guys can, and you can tell me how it is. Anyway, for today we're gonna go ahead. We've got a bunch of miscellaneous wheels and tires around the shop that need to be unmounted. But these here are the wheels that came on this here WRX that we replaced with the ProDrive Volk wheels. Now, these wheels that came on the car actually have really good Michelin PS2s on them. As you can see, they're in great condition, almost new. The ProDrive wheels also came with tires, but they're an off-brand. I believe they're Federals or something. And they're in good shape, but the insides are a little worn from camber. So it wouldn't be cool to give a car away with crummy old tires on it. So we're gonna put the PS2s onto the ProDrive wheels, and I think I'll go ahead and show you guys how to do that today. I think every car guy should know how to mount. I think every car guy should know how to unmount and mount a tire. It saved my ass a few times. I've actually, on my wagon, on my 13.5-inch wheel on the back of my wagon, had a blowout, and or not a blowout, but I had a hole, a puncture on the way to a photo shoot. Was able to get the car, limp back to the house, knock the tire off the wheel without a machine, put a plug in it, re-air it up, and get back on the road within like 30 minutes. If you know how to do the basics, you can fix a lot of things. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm no expert, I don't do this every day. I'm sure a lot of the guys on our channel that subscribe and watch work at tire shops, do this stuff every day. I'm sure there's a ton of tips and tricks and little things that you can do to do it better than I do it. But at the end of the day, I like to just show you guys the basics. If you are an expert, feel free to comment in the comment section below. Tell me why I'm an idiot and why I'm doing it wrong. But at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you guys how to go about the basics of taking a tire off, putting a tire on, and we may even get into balancing, because we've been lucky enough to have BenPack step on board with us, and they provided us with this badass wheel service tire changer, which is from their Ranger line, and they also hooked us up with a sick balancer. So we hardly ever mount and balance tires, but knowing that we have it when we need it is good, and today I'm gonna make good use of it. So here we go, follow along. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section and I'll do my best to respond. Jesus Christ, these shoes are squeaky. Go ahead and drag the wheel and tire over here. We're gonna go ahead and pull the core out of this and let the air out of the tire. That's the step, first step. You'll need a core removal tool. It looks something like this. And basically this is a torque sensitive core removal tool, so when you tighten up the core, it actually breaks away at a certain torque and allows you to put the core back into the valve stem at the proper torque spec. And I always put the core in a safe spot on the machine where I can find it. Even though we have more cores and more valve stems, it is nice to keep the cores in case you need them down the road. Alright, all the air's out of this tire. Now we can start breaking the tire off the wheel. Now that all the air's out of the tire, we're going to roll it over here to the shovel. I call this a shovel. It kind of looks like the head of a shovel. At any rate, what this does is it utilizes air pressure on the tire machine to actually push the tire bead off of the bead seat area on the wheel. So we're going to go ahead and hit the shovel power here. It's down here it's a foot pedal at the base of the machine. Go ahead and pull this in. So now we've got the tire separated from the wheel and off the drop center, or into the drop center. This you want to be very careful. I've got the valve stem down here, and it's very close to the shovel, but we want to stay away from it so we don't break the sensor. Alright, these little jammers are on there pretty tight. There we go. I'm gonna do this a couple times, get it good groove. Alright, we're free. So now we'll want to break the back loose as well. What this is doing is allowing us the room to get the tire bar in to pry it off. Alright, so I've got the tire up on the machine. I went ahead and clock the tire and the wheel so that by using the foot pedal and rotating the wheel and tire assembly, I've got it to a point where the tire bead is sitting down underneath the bead seat area, so there's room here. But be really careful not to pinch your fingers in here. I'm an idiot for sticking my fingers in there, but I've done it before and it hurts really bad, so don't do it. Anyway, so there's that. What we want to do is place the head of the machine on the wheel, lock it into place. And what this does is it gives you a section or an area on the machine to pry with a pry bar. You're not going to scratch the wheel up. This head is plastic, and it's basically a divider between your wheel and your bar, so you're not scratching them up. So I've got the head into place, and we're going to use this as our pry tool. But one thing you need to know is that you can stick this in and start pulling this as hard as you want. You're never going to get the tire over this if this isn't lower than the drop seat area. So this machine's a little fancy. It's not state of the art, but it is definitely of a nice power assist method, I guess is the best way to say it. So normally in the old days we just use another bar and push this down by hand. Well, now that we have air assist here, we can actually use this tool. We line that up with the edge of the tire and push the tire down. You hear that pop? That's getting it off the seat area, which means now when I pull on this side, it's going to take this bead seat on the tire and bring it down into the low spot on the wheel. That's going to allow the extra room we need to pull it up over the edge. So now I'm going to insert the bar underneath the tire bead seat, tire bead, and pull up. Basically up and over, utilizing the head of the machine as a pivot. And then now that we've got this up, we can actually start rotating the tire, and it's going to bring that off. Oh, or not. Alright, so now I've got the bar free and clear. The tire is up over the head. This is pushed down into the seat area, or the low area in the wheel. Now we just rotate it. So the arm is going to make contact with this arm, and we can get it out of the way. Once we've got to this point, we've got a third of the tire already unseated. It's good to go. So we're going to get this out of the way, and we'll keep rotating. Voila. So now the top is off. Now the whole tire is loose. This is where now we need to reach in with the bar, get underneath the bottom bead of the tire, and pull it up over the head, just like we did the top. So the trick to this is getting the opposite side of the tire from the head as high as possible. So you pull this up, and then you pull pressure against it so that it stays against the wheel and doesn't fall down. Insert the bar all the way down underneath the bottom bead and pull it up over the head, just like we did the top one. Same process, you're just doing both, one's top, one's bottom. So now we're gonna go ahead and rotate the tire. Okay, we're just gonna be really careful with the bar, you don't scratch your wheel. Luckily these Subaru wheels have had it, they've seen better days. So I don't need to be as careful. However, I try to be anyway. Because there's days where we're mounting $2,500 or $3,000 HREs on this machine, as opposed to a $25 throwaway wheel. So there we go. We got a tire off. Now we'll go ahead and set this aside. The tire looks like it's in excellent condition. The inside looks really nice. And we'll go ahead and inspect. I mean, there's stickers in here still, paper stickers. So these are fairly new tires. Another day I'll show you how to figure out when your tires are manufactured. It's actually stamped on the sidewall in code. We'll save that for another day. Anyway, we're going to inspect all these before we remount them. But we got to knock all four out first. Now we can swap them onto the new wheels. Alright, so we've gone ahead and removed the old Federal tire from our Pro Drive wheel. And we have our Michelin tire that we removed from the old WRX wheels here. So we're going to put these on. Now the process of putting these on is exactly pretty much the same as taking them off. You're just doing an opposite pattern. So I've inspected this tire, it's in good shape. Before we put it on, you want to take a look at it and find out if there's an inside and outside specification on the sidewall. These tires only have an outside sidewall specification, so that means we would want to put that side facing up. That's this side here. So when I put the lube on the tire, I actually face it this way. That way when I lift it up, I can go straight onto the wheel like that, and I know I'm not going to screw it up. So first things first, we've got a little bit of the tire lube here in the pail. Go ahead and put that on. There's many different types of tire lube out there, and also different ways to apply it. We just use a simple old school paintbrush here. They do make specific brushes for this type of application. We just don't have one, and this works just fine. So, alright, we got basically the tire bead is lube, and we'll put it back so that our outside designation is on the outside, which is right here. It says outside. So we're good there. And what I like to do is put a little bit of lube on the drop center as well, the bead seat area, and over the valve stem. That way in case it hits it, it doesn't get hung up. Just a little bit of lube. There's not much on this brush at all, so we're barely putting anything on. That'll help it seat once it goes on. So outside facing up. Pull the arm in, make sure it sits on the wheel properly. And now you want to pull the bead over the top of the back side of the foot, and you want the front to be underneath the bottom of the foot. So it's over, under. And then when you rotate the tire, it's going to automatically seat it around the wheel. So I'm going to go ahead and get this nice and snug, give it a rotation. Voila, we're on. So to specify again, this is the back of the foot, this is the front of the foot. When you're putting a tire on, you want to put the tire bead over the back and under the front. So, like that. In this case, we've got our handy dandy arm here, so we'll go ahead and put this in place. This is going to put some pressure down on the tire to keep it down as it rotates around. We'll grab our bar, and we'll get under here. What we want to do is keep this part of the bead underneath the nub on the head. So we'll go ahead and spin it. Again, we've got our downward pressure here, and we're just going to watch this into the seating area. Alright, now we're starting to sink down. Now it's just get it over the edge of the wheel. Nice and smooth. And we'll bring our arm up once it goes in. Voila, we're on. Get the arm out of the way. So the tire's on. That's the hard part. The other hard part is actually getting the wheel and tire off of the machine, because the way we're clamping the wheel onto the machine, instead of using the outward motion of the clamps, which actually leaves divots on the inside of the wheel, we're actually using the foot of the machine, which actually clamps onto the outside of the rim. And what happens is when you seat the tire, sometimes that gets pinched in there and it's hard to get off. What we don't want to do is air the tire up now, because it's going to seat the bead around the hose, and then when we pull it off, it's going to break them and take them off with it. So we're going to go ahead and actually air this up on the ground, and we'll go ahead and remove it from the machine by releasing the seat. Okay, now we can go about airing the tire up and getting the beads to seat on the wheel. We're going to do that on the ground. We're going to use the machine air. A lot of times guys will use shop air to seat them up because you get more pressure faster. These tires seem to be seating just fine with this method. Here we have it. That's the front. There's the back. Again, be very careful you don't stick your fingers in there and pinch them. It hurts really bad, and you can potentially actually lose a finger. So we're going to run these up to about 40 psi, and then I'll pull this off and stick straighter valve 4 back in, and then Timmy and I will actually make sure that we're at our desired PSI. There you go, buddy. Off to the balancer. That's the mounting process. I got 2 more to do. I've done 2 now. I'm gonna go ahead and knock those out real quick, and then we'll move on to the balancing machine. I'm not gonna go into detail on the balancing machine because every balancer is different. There's no sense other than basically just showing you guys the basics of balancing, which is either here nor there. You're basically just putting weights on the inside and the outside of the wheel to make sure that the wheel and tire package is balanced and you don't get any vibrations in the steering wheel or in the chassis while you're driving. So I knocked those out real quick. I didn't film any of it. I think it's neither here nor there. Just make sure you get your tires and wheels balanced after you mount them up if you do them yourself. If you don't have access to a wheel balancer machine, take them to your local discount tire or local mom and pop tire shop. They can knock it out for you in minutes. At any rate, we're gonna slap these back on the car and then we'll show you guys how it looks when we're all done. Alright, so as you can see, we got the wheels and tires on. Tim's gonna finish up by torquing down the very last wheel here. We recommend 80 to 90 foot-pounds. We're doing 85 foot-pounds of torque on these lug nuts. Everybody kind of has their own number that they like. On the drift cars, we always do 85, so I always do 85 on all my cars. Never had any problems on the racetrack, so certainly no problems on the street. We think it looks great. Putting the Michelin PS2s on here is a huge upgrade. The PS2 has won many awards. It's a great tire. So having a nearly brand new set of those on here is a huge upgrade for this car. I do like the little additional extra sidewall, as I mentioned earlier. I think it looks good. If you guys like the way this car looks, as I do, you're a fool if you don't go join VIP on throtl for a chance to win it. We're gonna give this car away in a day or two. Hopefully it goes to one of you guys that's watching this video. So that's that. I hope you guys learned something today. Knowing how to change a tire on a machine is ultra important in my opinion to any car guy, just to know how and have the knowledge if you ever have the opportunity. It's also the basics to changing a tire if you don't have a machine. So it's very easy to show you how to use it on a machine, how to actually accomplish it on a machine. But the same thing applies if you don't have a machine. You can use different types of tools and weights to actually debeat a tire and then pry it over the top and get it off. So hopefully some of those tips were something you can remember and use in the future. If you guys think this is a cool video, please leave us a comment below. If you hate it, let us know that too. We'd like to know because we could bring a lot more little behind the scenes tip videos like this in the coming weeks and months and years as we do our other build-ups and stuff like that. So there's a lot of little shop knowledge running around here, little bits and pieces of knowledge that we could pass on. So let us know if that's something that you'd like to see more of, and we will continue to do so. Tim, are we all set?
We're all done, brother.
Sick. All right, we're gonna take this thing out for a test drive and see how it handles. See how it performs, make sure we didn't leave your lug nuts loose, right?
Not me. Not me, brother.
Sick. All right, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the likes. We appreciate it all. throtl family rules. Peace out.